Hey, good day, noodlers. This is Paul Romero on this fantastic Freedom Friday here, October 2nd, the second day of the fourth quarter on a Freedom Friday. And second day of the fourth quarter, if you guys didn't see Wednesday's show, I would advise you to go back and have a look because you've got a lot of work. You've got a lot of work to do to finish out this year, and got a little nice little awesome outline there to sort of give you a perspective on how to look at where you're going here for the final quarter of 2015. And with that, I just want to say that we have a great show here today. This show is going to be one that is either going to help you keep thousands of dollars in your pocket or help you to put thousands of dollars in your pocket. This is the this is for noodlers as a reminder, which we always need, and also for you wannabe noodlers, especially. You're going to want to see this show. And you know what? We're going to open this show out today with a statement that's going to absolutely blow your mind. And with that, Mr. John Leister, I'd like to invite you to throw a word or two in here. I think without me even having to tell you where this is going, I think I've given you enough information to know pretty much exactly where I'm going with this. So what do you say today?
I say good rising, happy rising, and great day, everybody. Yeah, I'm excited to be on here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate Wednesday. I was away on some business. I went to a great networking event, and Paul's probably going to go the exact direction I'm hoping this thing goes for multiple reasons. One of those reasons is we're now in the fourth quarter of 2015. The year is 3 quarters over. We've got 3 months left of this year. And my experience, as I know, is that between November and New Year's, majority of the people out there slow down and accomplish nothing during that time. That shouldn't be you guys, and it's certainly not us. However, with that being said, it is a time where business slows down. So if Paul's getting at what I'm thinking he's getting at about where are you at this year, how close have you come to completing your goals, moving forward, we've got 3 months. But when it comes to business, we've got about 6.5 weeks to really get as much as we possibly can get done in the business side of things before the world, unfortunately, slows down for the following 6 to 8 weeks. So, you know, time is short, time is precious, time to get going and take some serious action. So with that, I just want to welcome everyone to the Hangout. One other reason I throw that in is I was at a networking thing the last 3 days, and it got me thinking about the amount of time left in the year. And not only is it important to be on top of your business goals, your personal goals, but your networking goals should be mixed in there as too. You want to meet the right people. You want to make connections with the people you want to be surrounded with the people who already have what you want to have. So, I mean, there's a million thoughts going through my mind. So I'll toss it back to you, Paul, here to kind of break into what it is, where it is you want to go with it.
Well, totally wrong. You missed. I'm not going there at all today, but great catch up. You're back up to speed now from Wednesday, because that was Wednesday's show. So now that you got that out of your system, no, today what I was talking about is this show basically being one for, you know, our current noodlers as a reminder, a constant reminder, and for especially, you know, newbie wannabe noodlers. You know, this is a show that's going to be able to, it's either going to keep thousands of dollars in your pocket or it's going to put thousands of dollars in your pocket, because not everybody is cut out for this business. And this show today is going to show you how to prevent the wholesaler to wholesaler syndrome, okay? And the statement that is going to blow your mind that I mentioned about is this: wholesale real estate has absolutely nothing to do with houses. Okay? You get that? Wholesale real estate has absolutely nothing to do with houses. All right, John, how many brains are splattered up against the wall right now?
Wholesale real estate has nothing to do with houses. That couldn't have been a more confusing yet true statement ever uttered, because it has nothing to do with real estate whatsoever.
Can you imagine people going, what the heck are these guys talking about right now? Well, here's the deal. All right. Houses, real estate, wholesale real estate, that is your vehicle. That is your product. That is the end game of what you're basically, you know, moving. Wholesale real estate comes down to this. You know, you can, people that want to get, and this is where I'm going to save you guys a lot of money, or you're going to make a lot of money, because this is either going to be you, or you're going to decide that it's going to be you, or you're going to realize that, you know, it's not you and you don't want to be. And, you know, I'm going to save you money right now if that's you. So anybody that wants to get into this business, what's the first thing that they do? They go out and they start, you know, gaining a bunch of information. They start figuring out, okay, what is wholesale real estate? How do I do this, and all that. And when you go out there, all the information that comes your way is all about the how-to. It's all about how to generate leads, how to, you know, comp properties, how to make offers, how to write contracts, how to find buyers, you know, how to sell your property. All of the how-tos are gladly thrown your way. All the information you need to wholesale real estate in the how-to area. Isn't that right, John?
Yes. And continue, please. I don't want to throw you off the track.
And so people are out there looking and learning and doing all these things, but the one key element, actually the one two-pronged key element that isn't provided, is what creates these right here. And I'll tell you what, right now, there's more of these out there, wholesalers, than there probably will ever be wholesalers out there. And it's because of this. Number one of the two-pronged section here is marketing. And you might think, well, wait a second. I talk about lead generation. Isn't that where my marketing comes in? Absolutely. That is where your marketing comes in. But there's two pieces to that send, you know, probably half the people running for the hills. And the first piece to that is the fact that, okay, you've already probably spent a whole lot of money out there learning all about the how-to. Now, some people spend all their money there. Some people still have money left. But the fact of the matter is, they don't understand that once they actually get to the point of having to do marketing, exactly how much that's going to cost. And most people don't have that kind of money. Most people just spent all their money learning the how-to. So they don't have the money to spend in marketing, and therefore they don't ever get anywhere with landing the deals that they anticipated doing. Or they just see flat out of the gate, I don't have money to continue doing that, all that marketing. And even those that do have money, I'm going to get to part B of this in just a second. So generally, just the pure cost of marketing is going to send many people running for the hills. The second part of this is that the people who do continue on with the marketing either don't, won't, or feel that they can't be creative and get out of the, do some out of the box thinking and create their, you know, USP, their unique selling proposition in what separates you from your competition. And what they end up doing is sending out the same old generic crap that everybody else is doing. And, you know, person gets your letter, for instance. They open up your letter, they look at it. They don't even have to read it because it looks exactly like, you know, 7 of the other 12 letters that they received. And it just gets wrinkled up and thrown in the garbage. And nobody has the, you know, not very many people have the creative thought processes to get out of the box and recreate their marketing materials to formulate a USP, a unique selling proposition that separates them from their competition, that when somebody opens their letter or receives their postcard or reads their bandit sign even, or whatever the case might be, that there's something that sets you apart from the rest of the pack, that you're going to be the one that they call. And those are the two pieces of marketing that get left out of the quote how-to that send people running for the hills.
Yeah. And you know, there's a lot to be said for everything that's Paul, and I'll just reiterate the main points that he's trying to point out here is that, yes, real estate is the vehicle, it is the product. However, the most important part about this business, quite frankly, the most important part, there's a lot of important parts, but we're talking about where the rubber meets the road, making money. So the most important part of any business is the marketing and sales. Without marketing and sales, you don't generate leads, and you're not closing deals, and you're not gaining clients. So if you're not willing to kind of understand the dynamics of how those two things work, be willing to be open to, probably for a lot of you getting into this business, getting out of your comfort zone, you're going to be the wholesaler as opposed to the wholesaler. It's imperative and extremely important to understand that this business is all about the sales and the marketing.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's the purpose of marketing? The purpose of marketing is to, let people know who you are and what you do, pretty much. And so that the people who need what you do can contact you. But the important piece of that is not just what you do, it's who you are. And that leads to the second half of the missing element that John just let the cat out of the bag on, and that is the sales side of it, okay? Sales and marketing are the one key piece that's missing from all of the how-to that's out there that you just spent all your money on trying to learn how to flip wholesale real estate. And the sales and marketing, the core, the heart of the business, was never talked about. And so you walk into this, you get done with all of that learning and education, then you walk into this and you go, oh my God, I got to spend more money on all this marketing. I got to do all these things to send out these letters and buy business cards and put up these signs and go to networking events and talk to people and do all this stuff. And that's a lot of time and effort. I can't do that. And boom, a lot of wholesalers are born right there. And then the second part, like I said, is where they might give that effort, but they give it the effort with the same old dried up generic stuff that doesn't produce, and therefore, boom, more wholesalers are born. And so what I'm talking about with the USP is, your unique selling proposition, what sets you apart from your competition. Well, the key word there is what? You. And that's the same thing that goes with the selling side. Okay, on the selling side now, first of all, we all love to buy, but we certainly hate to be sold, don't we? We just can't stand it when we're doing that salesman comes up and starts trying to, sell us something that we, probably wanted when we got there, but now that he's trying to sell it to us, the damn thing, that's the last thing I want, just because this guy's trying to sell it to us. So, because we, society has pretty much, created this despise within pretty much the human race here about sales and salespeople. That's the last thing that we want to ever become, is one of those pushy salesmen, right? So the fact of the matter that you get in here and you start realizing that now I have to actually speak to other people and try to figure out how to sell them on my idea of selling me their house. I have to become a salesman now. And that is where a whole slew of wholesalers are born, because we're not salesmen. We don't want to be salesmen. That's, we despise salesmen. So anything that has to do with sales, and once we realize that this whole piece of actually having to communicate with another human being and sell them on my idea of selling me their property for a discounted price, holy cow. Wholesalers are born everywhere in this section of what's going on here. And the thing about it is, the key part of it is, you're not selling, you are. I mean, you're selling your idea, you're selling what you do, but the most important piece of what you're selling is not about what you do and all that. That's the enticement. That's what gets them to make the call to you. That's what gets them to, have some interest. That's where your USP comes in, is to get the interest in, oh, this guy, I've been looking at doing this, but this guy stands out. This guy's new and different. I'm going to call them. But the main thing is once you're on the call, what are you now selling? Now, John, what are they selling?
You're selling them. I mean, I want to take a step back and bring it right to where Paul brought it right here. And that is just to point out, like, the stigma of sales. And that's because probably 80% of the salesmen out there suck at selling, turn people off to what sales really is about, and gives the whole profession a bad name for many people. Also, it's important that everybody realizes you are constantly, everyone's a salesman. Everyone. Do you have children? You're selling your kids on your ideas. You have to sell yourself to your kids to get them to listen to you when you're, instructing them or telling them what to do. Are you a teacher? You're selling a room full of students on concepts, teaching them. I just want to point out that everybody, whether you realize it or not, are a salesman. So if you consciously can realize that I'm in sales, whether or not I realize I'm in sales, and you're conscious of that, and then you can also be consciously aware of why it is that most people feel so negatively about sales, you can begin to change your mindset and your perspective on what sales really should be all about. So I kind of wanted to step back to those points there, because I think that is of critical importance, because mindset is everything. So you need to question why it is you might feel negatively towards sales. And then you need to realize that you are in sales, whether you want to believe it or you realize it. Now, back to Paul's point, this is where that takes us into. Sales and communication with people is where the rubber meets the road. And what you're selling is yourself. And you should never be ashamed to promote yourself, your value, your ideas. And here's how I kind of got over my hump. And the reason Paul and I are so adamant about pointing out that wholesale real estate is about sales and marketing, and 98% of the courses that you're going to take out there don't mention that or really drive home the fact of the importance of what that means, is because majority of the programs out there are put together by guys who are sales guys. Paul and I have a totally different background. So we really realize the value in understanding that that is what this business is, which is why we're so adamant about bringing it. Because if Paul and myself could come from our background into having a successful wholesale real estate business that is on track to do over 120 wholesale deals within a 1-year period, and looking to even double those numbers moving forward from now until the next 1-year period, we had to learn that that is what the important thing is. Now, getting back to what Paul said there about where we're at is like selling yourself. And that's why we talk about every new op day, that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, because you have to work on getting people to like you. And now how do you do that is really the sales is all about listening to what other people's needs are and listening to what people want, what people desire. So you're selling yourself, but you're doing that through just listening to the desires of other people and finding out what it is they need. And then as an entrepreneur, helping them fill those gaps.
Yep, exactly. So where we're going with this is, sales is the core of wholesale real estate, marketing and sales. When you are out there, when you're actually speaking to a seller, whether it be on the phone or live or in person at the house, however it is, this is where your sales skills are going to be the difference as to whether or not you walk out of there with a deal or not, or the next guy that walks in there who has better sales skills is going to be the one who has that contract, and you're off to your next wholesaler. The reason why it's so important here is because people will only do business with people that they know, or they feel that they know, that they like, and that they trust. Salesmanship is not about selling a product. It's not about pushing all the greatness about what this product is all about, just as John just stated. Salesmanship is all about getting the other person to feel like they know you, to like you, and to trust you. If you can build those three things in the other person, doesn't matter if you're selling, if you're in, you could be in Alaska selling ice cream cones and you're going to be selling them like hotcakes, okay? Because you can, they will buy from you if you can build that feeling, that confidence within them that they can trust you, that they like you, and that feeling at the end of the day that they know you. And you know what? The funny thing is, they'll feel they know you when you haven't even spoken a freaking word about yourself and who you are and what you do. Okay, that's the funny thing. How the heck do they think they know me when I haven't said anything? And that's the key to it right there, is to have them doing all the talking. Most salesmen end up, pushing and doing all the talking. Nobody wants to be talked at. We don't care what you say, what you think, who you are, what you have. I don't care. What about me? It's all about me. This world's about me, okay? Let me talk. Let me talk and I'm happy. Let me talk and I like you. Let me talk and we're friends. Let me talk and I can trust you because you let me talk.
That is, it could be said that that's the secret, but it's really not a secret. But for a lot of people, this might be, if you're new to this business, new to sales and marketing, these should be really aha moments for you, because it's extremely important. Think about your own personal life. Most people you're going to come into contact with love talking about themselves. And what irritates most people about other people? Oh, that guy talks too much. All that guy does is talk about himself. There's a reason there's so many people like that in the world, is because people want to feel important. A lot of people want to feel that they're the center of attention, whether they'll admit that or not. But it's our job as a salesman to just listen and not get frustrated with those people that talk too much about themselves, but sort of embrace it and let them go with it. Know how to control it and rein it in with the proper questions, which is another element to all this. Pre-planned questions, pre-planned conversations that you're going to have with people. But, learn, just with the people you're doing, learn to listen and show genuine interest in what they're telling you. And that is what's going to get someone to like and trust you. They're going to go, man, I really like talking to that. You might, if you have a 30-minute conversation with a seller of a property, you're selling them on the idea that you want to buy their home at a discount. You might have a 30, 45-minute conversation. You might realize during that whole 45 minutes, you've probably spoke for less than if you spoke in less than 2 to 5 minutes during that encounter, you did your job. If you ended up monopolizing the time at that encounter and talking more than the seller, you're doing something wrong, because this is about them, making them feel important. And that's kind of the secret to sales in almost anything. That's why you're so annoyed by the sales guy that doesn't shut up, that's pushy, that oversteps it, is because they're a bad salesman. They're doing all the talking when they should be doing all the listening.
Exactly. You know what? And this is why the noodler, our property noodler system is so unique, because we don't waste your time on having you learn all the how-to, okay? This is already a successful operation. We got all the how-to in place. You don't need to know any of that crap right now, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to place you right in the heart of a wholesale deal, right where the most important element of the deal lies, so that you can start learning and growing and practicing your skills to become a master at the most important piece of wholesale real estate, okay? Once you got that down, I'll tell you what, the rest of it, it comes naturally. That just flows. It's so easy at that point in time. It all makes sense. You don't have to worry about how to write a contract or how to comp a property or how to do any of that stuff in the beginning. All you need to worry about is honing your skills on being successful. And do you think that any skill such as being successful or becoming a master salesman is not a learnable skill? I don't care how much you don't like sales. I don't care how much you despise salesmen. I don't care how much you think you could never be a salesman. If you choose to, if you want to, if you have the desire to, you build the fire in your belly and don't let it go out that says, I'm going to be a master salesman and I'm going to flip wholesale real estate. You start right here with the Property Noodler system where you don't have to waste your time with all the other crap and go right to the heart of a deal. And you put your desire to work and you learn success and sales skills, and you will be a wholesaler. A wholesaler and not a wholesaler.
I don't know how else to stress the point any more than what we just kind of covered there. The bottom line is just to reiterate what Paul said about the Property Noodler system, the how-to. To be quite honest with you, for most people, the how-to is really the simple part. It's the sales and marketing. And I know from experience, a lot of people that go to a seminar, hear about the power of wholesale and the power of real estate, and they want to get into changing their lives and they want to get into something new to create new income, to create passive income, to move forward financially in their life. Everything sounds great and you're pepped up and you're feeling good when you're at that seminar or you first hear about how you can do and make $12,000 on one deal in less than 30 days. In some cases, we just got a check for a deal. Yesterday, Paul, a $46,157.78 check from a wholesale deal. We didn't have to have a dime in that. We had $100 to make that kind of money. That's what people get excited about. And there's people that are bullheaded to stick to it and learn all the necessary skills and how to and the steps of this business. Guys such as, I don't know, the ones hosting this hangout. But a lot of people don't have that sort of drive and get frustrated and walk away, and they become wholesalers because they don't understand. And then when they do realize maybe that it's about sales and marketing, it scares them away. They go, I'm not a sales guy. I'm not a marketer. I can't be that person. I can't do those things. I don't have those skills. Salesmen are naturally good with people. I'm not naturally good with people. You know what? That's just a little voice in your head making 1,000,001 excuses to keep you in the exact position you are in your life today, to keep you from moving forward, bettering yourself and bettering your life, because that's your subconscious mind. It's only there for your survival to keep you comfortable. So anytime anyone does something new, try something new, that little voice turns on to keep them comfortable, to keep them stepping out of their comfort zone, to keep them doing what they're used to doing. And quite frankly, that's the definition of an insanity, right? Is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting different results each time you do the same thing. So it's like, we talk about personal development because that's a big part of what this business is about too. But the number one thing you've got to realize is that everything that we're talking about here on this hangout today is 100% learnable. You could learn no matter how shy of a person you are, no matter how socially awkward you may be right now today. It's within just about everybody's capabilities to learn these skills and to master these skills and implement these skills. And this is a business that can really change your life. These skills will change your life. They'll make you feel more confident as a person. They'll make you feel better about yourself. Hell, they'll even help you get a girlfriend if you're not so good with the ladies. Or a boyfriend if you're not so good with the guys, like whatever. I'm just saying these are skills I think that are very critical, very important to people's life, not just professionally, but personally. And the good news here, people, is that it might not be simple, but it's learnable, and anyone can do these things. And you can get into the wholesale real estate business with Paul and I without having to know how to write a contract, without knowing how to target the right people. We can put you in the heart of the deal and show you the most important thing where the rubber meets the road, and that's communicating our message to the public.
And there you go. With the Noodler system too, if you are thinking about wanting to try out wholesale real estate, go out there and flip houses and make lots of big fat checks, like I said in the beginning, this show can either save you thousands of dollars and keep them in your pocket, or put thousands of dollars in your pocket, but it's all up to you. You can come here. I mean, you can go out there and you can spend lots of money to learn the how-to and then figure it out the hard way, or you can come here where it doesn't cost you any money and you can get right into the heart of what's going to cut deep into your soul and find out if this is or is not for you in a very short and quick period of time, and either have you out your dreams of wholesale real estate put to bed. Not me, never going to happen. I did give it a real try, not some hokey pokey I sort of tried over there. I did actually go and do it, and it's just not for me. And you know what? You can live with that a whole lot better than the justification behind your failure of not going forth just because you were afraid of sales and marketing. So you can do this quickly, find out your answer right away. Very little, I mean, there will be a couple bucks coming out of your pocket, but trust me, nothing that nobody can't afford. But there's no charge, no upfront fees. Come in here, we'll put you in the meat of a deal, and you'll find out right away, you know, is this for me or is this not for me? And if it is for you, then you will accelerate quickly into a wholesaler. And as we said, when you've honed your skills in the proper area, all the rest of the pieces just fall into place. So success in all areas of life is a learnable skill, no question about it, but only if you develop the desire to have it. Without that, you can read all the books you want, you're still going to end up right where you're at. So with that, John, why don't you take us home and get us out of here?
All right, you know what? Enough said. So with that, oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, through the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire. You know, think about that statement, think about that prayer and how that applies here. You know, Paul and I do that every day. You know, if you're, you know, a Christian, you're Buddhist, if you're Muslim, you all pray, meditate, whatever you do. You know, whether you're asking God or the universe, you know, that prayer is meant to put yourself in the mindset of opening yourself up to new wisdom. And, you know, what I'm trying to point out here is that, and Paul as well, is that the wisdom that you're gaining and applied, that is applied to everything in life. And that's why we say everything's a learnable skill. You can learn anything you set your mind to, you know, and that's the bottom line. So go out there, make it a great day. We're at the end of another session. So I'm excited to come back here on New Op Day to get back into the How to Win Friends and Influence book. We're going to be getting into chapter 3, probably reiterate a little bit of chapter 2 because Monday's hangout was a nightmare. And but we'll see you all back here New Op Day.
Yep. Everybody have a great climax, celebration, whatever you want to call it, and we'll be back here on New Op Day.